Morning, hope you're doing really well. So today I am in Northamptonshire and I've come to take you to a place that has been labelled as the most haunted graveyard in all of England. Interesting. But I'm here really just to sort of concentrate on its amazing history of this beautiful church ruin, another church ruin for the channel. However, church ruins have that sort of certain mystic quality to them, don't they? And today I can safely say that when you look around this incredible countryside, there's no better place than I'd rather be. So, enjoy your history lesson. Let's go explore. Come on. In the heart of Northamptonshire lies what's reputed to be one of the most haunted graveyards in the country, that of the truly beautiful ruins of St John's Church in Boughton. The church was first mentioned in 1201 and was built on top of the sacred spring of John the Baptist, but it's noted this church could well date even earlier to Norman times. But what we see today is the ruins of its 14th century phase of its construction, when it was part of the medieval settlement of Boughton. As with most churches, this one had seen a fair few changes in its life, but it came to an end when the village started to decline around the late 15th to early 16th centuries, and so by the 18th century the church was almost totally a ruin, with the tower and spire barely standing. But as to its haunted past, this ruin has a few paranormal tales to tell, from the ghost of a local highwayman called Captain Slash, who accused of robbing a shoemaker and subsequently hung in the area, who still haunts the ruins, through to a white-robed lady and the sounds of children, as well as sightings of a red-haired woman. Either way, this church is one that will live long in the memory and well worth a visit should you be in the area. Right, so we've made it into Boughton. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And we're at this beautiful ruined church. And what really amazes me is the way that the winter sun is sort of reflecting down on it, and it just adds for this remarkable colouring. It's this bright, beautiful sand-like colour. It's absolutely amazing, and you can see the foundations of this church so clearly here. It was such a sad story. So I think that, from what I remember, the deserted village is upwards of that way on the adjacent field that you probably saw at the beginning of the video. But here we are. Isn't this just spectacular? Absolutely beautiful. You know, I often say about ruins that there's something so magical and beautiful about them, and I think today's example is just such a testament to that. And it's kind of eerie because you can understand why it might be labelled as one of the most haunted graveyards, because where you are when you're standing in the church, they're above you, most of the graves, and they're kind of looking down on you. It's got to be one of the most wonkiest grave sites I've visited, in terms of that's the mound. And then obviously as we're looking here, this is this wonderful church ruin, but amazingly beautiful, so picturesque. I'm sure on a summer's day it'd be quite nice to picnic here. I don't get any sort of spiritual paranormal vibes of sort of saying that it could be the most haunted, one of the most haunted graveyards here, but it's so spectacular in its own right. And it's an unusual ruin because you don't normally see something like this in terms of the way that it is. It almost looks like a folly. And I think people who have visited follies would understand that it's almost like a half a ruin. But isn't this just magical? Look at that. And then looking down, it plateaus, which we're going to head down and we're going to have a look from. We'll have a look down and we'll sort of visit that bit so you can look up at the church as well. But isn't this just spectacular? Amazing. It's kind of interesting that you can sort of surmise that you can see these beams, every square little peg within this just signifies another beam that would have come across another sort of part of the church. It's just magical, this. I'm sorry about the lighting, but it's really unusual, the fact that the sun is coming through there, just behind there. And so it's illuminating the church in a wonderful, beautiful way. It's very majestic, and like I said, the incredible colours that it reflects off of. Simply wonderful. I'm in love with this place. It's absolutely amazing. Brilliant. Right, so we've walked around now the outside perimeter. We are going to walk around the outside now, and you get to see the church in all its majestic glory. And it means us traversing through or weaving in and out of these amazing little grave sites. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's have a look at some of these whilst we're here. Gladys Ivy Smith, 1912 to 1996. A modest little sort of cross there. And then if you look behind you, you have all different types of here. So if we look here, it says, sacred to the memory of Martha, fourth daughter of the late Mr. Thomas Warren of Earls Boughton, who died April 17th, I think that's 1873, aged 81. He says, here her end was peace. Sorry. And then there's Matthew Mark Warren, in memory of, who died August 27th, 1876. It's only 3 years after. I can imagine, I mean, it's difficult because in essence you've got a main road that's there, so it's quite noisy here. I wouldn't say it's a tranquil and peaceful place, you know, because of just that road. Sorry, I'll try and get a light. Because of that road, and yet it's still, I mean, walking down there and seeing it in all its glory was amazing. And now if you look in front of me, I don't know if you can see that because the heat's now starting to reflect from the sun, it's starting to melt all the frost. Absolutely beautiful, really. But it's beautiful, but it's still quite loud here. You know, I can't imagine the people who are buried here would get much rest from the noise. Let's have a look at another one. Peter Eaton Kimball, that's an unusual name, who died April 1st, 1928, aged 83. Wow. Also Fanny Priscilla, dearly loved wife of the above, who died January 18th, 1936. Oh wow, aged 81. Also, dearly beloved children of the above. Wow, look at that. William George, who died 24th, 1883, aged 6.5. Oh, wow. Sad stories. Frances Isabel, 1893, 4. Wow. And then Henry Julian Kimball. Kimball, I've never heard of that surname before. It's interesting. Died March 27th, 1975. Wow, look at that. Aged 87. Unbelievable. And there's Kimball's there. Margaret Mary Rowden. I apologise, Margaret. Nee Kimball. 28th of the 1st, 1915 till the 21st of the 12th, 2010. Wow, it's all Kimballs here. Let's have a look. I want to be as respectful as possible because it's not fair otherwise. There's a David Julian Kimball there, another little modest one. Looks fairly new. I reckon that's ashes, isn't it? Or like an urn. Wow, if the stories that these people could have told. I think the thing is that we look at these ruins and we sort of say, like, we can debate what you prefer, whether it's a ruin or an actual physical one, like a sort of Churches Conservation Trust one, but either way, they all tell their all unique stories, and it's these gravestones and everything else that's surrounded within that tell that, you know, with the history of this place, which you've obviously learnt from. Because I don't really want to talk too much into it from that, because like I said, we're exploring it now. We're in our exploring phase of the video. It's so sad. It's really, I mean, it's so pretty. It's just a shame that it's unfortunately overshadowed by the noise of the road, really. And if you follow it around, all around here, there's this, I'm going to be careful not to tread because there are some beautiful little snowdrops that are there. All of this wooded area. I mean, that's probably more haunted than the actual. It's got more of an atmosphere than this place, actually, if I'm being honest. But then I am in the day, and obviously we know that everything changes at night. So, but it's such an honour to come here and explore it, and to document it for all of you, obviously out there. It's easy to park. You know, and it tells such a wonderful story of this deserted village that we've seen so many times in previous videos. The Romney Marsh ones are classic examples, aren't they? You know, and now here it is, and the fact that it still stands in whatever condition really is a testament, isn't it? And we could just go on about these graves here. I mean, there's so many. There's a really lovely woman, actually. She was walking her dogs and she was doing a couple of laps around here, and it is a really pretty place to sort of do that because you can just park up and do it. And this is one of these churches that signifies heritage and locality. The locals who have grown up around here with stories and rumours and myths. And that is the actual pivotal point of why these videos are so important, is because they tell more than just a documentation. They tell stories of people who've lived and worked around this area, and who remember the church in its different sort of ruinous phases. And it still stands here as such a reminder, and it's now nature that we can hear. We can hear these beautiful birds in the background. So pretty, really is. Oh look, here's one. Wow, this is new. Derek Freshwater. That says 1932 to 2021. Wow, last year as of recording this video. How sad. A good life though. 1932. Wow, very good life. Let's look at another one. Selina Mary Hampton. Beautiful name. 1952 to 2017. A loving wife and mother. Oh, that's so pretty. Of course, she didn't have a... Of course, she was quite young, bless her. Right, so as I end this video, and I've spoken to you about the importance of conservation, preservation and the memories this place holds, it was a true honour and a pleasure to visit this one today. I was so grateful I did it. And yeah, magical ruin. One that I'm not going to forget in a hurry because of its location, because it's in this rural area, even though, like I said, talk about the main road, rural area. The fact that it's crammed full of history, even up until the modern day. Like we said, we saw that 2021 grave, didn't we? As of recording, it's 2022, so we're just trying to put that in a documentation type of format. This ruin is truly amazing, and it just proves that every single ruin that I've been to tells a fascinating story, and it's by documenting it that it can remind us that these stories won't hopefully ever be forgotten. And on a local perspective, for the people who live around here, it must be a truly treasured place, I hope, and one that will live long in the memory and hopefully contain many more memories to come in the future. And it's obviously thanks to English Heritage who are keeping that going, really. And yeah, absolutely pretty in this beautiful winter sun coming down, shining on this, illuminating the sandy textured colours. Absolutely fascinating. So as I depart, we've looked at the church itself, we looked at the ruin, we've looked at a few of the graves, and we talked about the importance of it. So I think we're done for today. Any more words of Phoenix history? Never before have they been even more poignant, because history matters. And as I disappear into the shade, I'll see you all very soon. Take care, remember to spread the word of the channel. Much love to all of you out there. You ready? Come on in. Kapow.